Firstly, I should add I struggled with the name of this video. I was going to call it Harry Styles, but that felt too perverse. So hairvolution it is, you know, like hair evolution, hairvolution. I thought it was clever. I've always been hyper aware of One Direction, like most of my generation have. They were on X Factor in my first year of senior school, and I remember that series of X Factor staggeringly well. Wagbo, Cher Lloyd, I'm gonna sing Cher Lloyd by Cher, and obviously One Direction. I was never a huge fan myself, but my best friend at senior school was, and through cultural osmosis, I undeniably had a huge soft spot for them. My favourite song by One Direction is Diana, if you ever wondered. I remember when Liam shaved his hair off, I remember the Kiss You music video when that released, and I never once could say that I actually disliked them, despite the fact I was more into like Panic at the Disco and My Chemical Romance, that kind of stuff. I was a Kerrang girl through and through. With Liam Payne's recent passing, everyone my age has reignited their retired group chats to talk about One Direction all over again. And that has really got me thinking about the fashion and, more interestingly to me as a barber, their hair evolution. They all went through a hell of a lot of like hair changes, but who better to focus on hair-wise than Harry Styles?
Harry Styles.
Even though I'd argue Zayn has done just as much with his hair, and technically I'd say he's done more interesting stuff with his hair, but Harry was of course known for being the one with the hair. Early days on the X Factor, 2010. Let's set the scene. It's autumn 2010. I'm huddled around an old boxy TV with a gaggle of girls my age watching One Direction being formed in front of us on the chunky screen. History was quite literally being made in front of our eyes. Little did we know that half that room would likely be obsessed with these boys a year later. Anyway, whatever, enough scene setting. Let's talk about the one with the curly hair. There he is, Harry Styles, just 16 years old. Cheeky as hell, but incredibly charming nonetheless. But what is that hair? That is peak 2010 fashion right there. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, it wasn't really cool for white guys to have curls, at least not yet. This is a good 5 or so years before the broccoli top era, where every Nike Tech tracksuit lad got a horrible, dusty, crusty perm. The hairstyle you see before you can only be described as a mop top. It's the result of wanting the classic Justin Bieber hairstyle, but obviously his curl pattern says otherwise. Now, Liam has very similar hair to Harry, but he straightened it. I digress. Harry's hair here was the epitome of having those lovely curls, but not having a stylist that knew how to style curls. I hate it, but isn't he so cute? I always thought he looked like a confused goldfish back then. Early One Direction, 2011. X Factor is over. Did they win? No, some dude called Matt Cardle did. Where is Matt now in 2024, you ask? I think based off a 20-second Google that he's doing like musical theatre. This hair is better. A longer, shaggier, surfier version of the Lego hair of the last year. The fringe is styled down more and the hair has been styled with a more matte finish product than last year. Look at those luscious locks, it's wonderful. One Direction is thriving, 2012. 1D's first album, Up All Night, dropped in the latter quarter of 2011 and boom, it's a success. It's the fastest selling debut album of 2011. They're touring the world and weirdly opening for Big Time Rush in the States. Weird. 2012 is an incredible year to be British, and in a way we kind of have One Direction to thank for that. We all love these 5 British dudes climbing on a phone box and riding double-decker buses and shit. Anyway, they're all wearing these horrible business casual outfits during this era. God knows what happened to men's fashion back then, but I remember constantly styling my male Sims off of One Direction fashion sense back then. Harry's hair is neater. Gone are the scruffy surfer vibes of 2011. Now it's reined in a bit sharper, but we know that deep down he wants it longer. And look, the fringe is out his eyes a little bit more. Perhaps that's a taste of what's to come. Oh my god, he's so mature. 2013. Holy shit, he pushed his hair back. His hair's grown out a bit. I remember this era of men's hair so distinctly. Everyone went from wearing their hair down to wearing their hair up. You could not escape the quiff. One Direction were clear evidence of that. Louis especially was. Like, his quiff was massive. The business casual clothes are becoming but a distant memory. Frat boy Harry has arrived. Isn't he cool? This picture has people going feral. He's got a bandana now, 2014. Growing his hair out, and what better way to manage the mane than with a Rambo style bandana? It's sending the girls and the gays into a tizzy. The lethal baggy jumper, skinny jeans, Chelsea boots combo was there to partner up with the bandana. God, what a time to be alive. Besides that awful hat he sometimes wore when he had his longer hair, this must have been his most iconic accessory. Prince era, 2014. This was his awkward stage, or as the feral fans call it, his Prince era. Everyone with curly hair who's grown their hair out long knows this stage all too well. It sits awkwardly. The side part isn't side parting. His hair is getting everywhere. He's doing little silly man buns. But it holds promise for the future. Long hair Harry 2015. It's 2015. I'm revising for my GCSEs. Well, I'm supposed to be anyway. I failed them. But what's to blame? A certain incident in March. March arrives and Zayn leaves. Holy shit. Zayn has left One Direction. This band who've carried my senior school years is seemingly in tatters. This constant, the soundtrack to every school trip I went on, sat with my friend on the bus, sharing a single pair of earpods, huddled over an iPod Nano loaded with their songs, that's all falling to pieces. What is to come of One Direction without Zayn? I sit and I chat to my friends over break time about it in the computer room. We look on a Daily Mail showbiz page and we see the headlines about Zayn's departure. Accompanied with it is a picture of the group. Harry has long hair now. It's perpetually swooped to one side. No face framing layers to be seen here. No shag cut. No visual interest to the haircut at all. Typical mid-2010s hipster long hair. Often to be tied in a bun and perpetually greasy. I personally don't like it at all, but I know it's a fan favourite. Months pass. I fail my GCSEs. I go to sixth form to do a BTEC in media production, which I will fail also. One Direction release their last album. They tour one last time. They do their final televised performance, and that's it. This band that was everywhere is nowhere, and all we have left is memorabilia and memories. I really didn't like Harry Styles' long hair. I really didn't, but thanks to my depression in 2015 to 2016, I didn't get a haircut, and unwillingly I had his exact disgusting long greasy mop. We all make mistakes. Dunkirk 2016. Christopher Nolan, the man that you are, thank you for this. Harry Styles gets his mop chopped to a period-accurate 40s style slick back for Dunkirk. Nice graduation on the sides, length on the top to have one curl on his forehead like Superman. It's clean, yet rugged. It's classic. It's timeless. And he looks fantastic with it. Dunkirk is an alright film as well. I love war films. Definitely take after my father on that one. Short hair is here, and it is here to stay. He appears on the cover of Another Man magazine in the autumn of 2016 with a fantastic 60s style mod cut. He looks lovely. I have spoken about this shoot before on my TikTok. I love it. Going solo 2017. Harry Styles, like his name, has style. He is the standout act from One Direction. By a landslide he is. He's effortlessly cool with his 70s Jagger-esque energy. He released his self-titled solo debut in 2017 to critical acclaim. And my acclaim here? His hair. It's almost like a throwback to his early One Direction days half a decade prior, but there's now an air of maturity there. And it's not just because his hairline's going. It's styled better. It's clearly in better condition than it ever was in the early 2010s. Whoever his hairdresser is knows what they're doing. Harry Styles is back. Back to the curls, 2018 to 2019. He is touring the world. He's wearing aggressively jazzy suits. His hair is as glamorous as him. It's curlier, it's bigger, and it's styled with a product that has a healthy amount of sheen. So it's not quite wet look, but it's got a little bit of gloss to it. It's nice. It works with the curls. He's modelling for Gucci, and campaigns are coming out left, right and centre. His hair is a classic curly scissor cut. It's high fashion, but it's not pretentious. It's not a mod cut or anything too edgy or choppy. Just a simple curly pushback. It's classy, it's old school, it's very understated. A bit of flavour. Late 2019 to early 2020. COVID is about to hit, but we don't know that yet, and neither does Harry Styles' hair. It's been heavily textured, it's probably razor cut, it's boxier at the front with a slightly cropped fringe, although it is usually brushed aside. It complements his ever-evolving fashion sense. It's slightly modish, it's more edgy, and it really goes well with his more avant-garde styling. COVID and more acting, 2020. Coronavirus has taken off, but so has Harry Styles' acting career. Sure, his hair was a bit dishevelled in lockdown, wasn't everyone's, but come the end of 2020, he's got a new do. A sharp 1950s pompadour side part thing for the film Don't Worry Darling, which, yeah, it's a film. Oh my god, more acting. How does he manage this alongside all the touring? 2021. Harry Styles is starring in a romantic drama set in the late 1950s called My Policeman. Guess he'll have to have that sharp haircut again. Oh my god, he's gay in it. The Larry Stylingson shippers are shaking. Is Harry Styles queer baiting? Never mind, that's not a topic for this video. Back to this hair. Fresh off the film set, he has a lovely loose side part, which is a nice, easy way to grow out the sharply styled 50s look he had for the film. Peak performance, 2022 to 2023. Harry Styles is inescapable. I see him all over my social media, and I see his lovely hair. It's sort of the love child of his Dunkirk hair days and his longer style from 2019. It's loose where it needs to be and tame where it needs to be. Paired with a nice spattering of stubble, it's probably the most modern he's actually looked since his boy band days. It's a little bit old money, but it's elevated and it's edgier with his facial hair, and that just gives it that more modern twist. He did what to his hair? 2023. Back in 2013, it sent shockwaves across teens and tweens globally when Liam Payne buzzed his hair off. Little did we know that 10 years later, Harry Styles, of all people, would be doing the same. Rumours spread like wildfire. Did you hear Harry Styles has gone bald? No way. Yeah, someone saw his mum at IKEA and asked her about it and she said yes. But what's Harry's reasoning for this, everyone asks. Harry simply says he was on holiday and fancied a change. Harry debuts the style in an Instagram post for his brand, Pleasing. Perhaps the most genius marketing ever. But a million teenage girls cry over his hair. Or rather, lack thereof, and say he's like Ian Beale from EastEnders. Divisive short hair, early 2024. Divisive short hair, early 2024. Harry has grown out his buzz cut, and thankfully it seems his hair grows pretty quickly. He does, however, look like someone's dad, but then again the man is freshly 30, he's well within his rights to look like a dad if he so pleases. This is the most normal white bread haircut this man will likely ever have, but it's flattering for his face shape. It's nice seeing his face for a change. Good for him. Back to being more fashionable again, present day. His fashion sense has come back again with a vengeance. He is rocking a soft mullet. Well, it's somewhere between a mullet, mod cut, and like a 90s, noughties, choppy scissor cut. It's cool, it's trendy, I really like it. It's clearly very bespoke to him. People not into fashion will hate his current hair, but people into fashion who are like in the know love it. Hair systems and hair transplants. I've seen a lot of theories about whether or not Harry has had a hair transplant, or whether he's wearing a hair system, or whether he's worn wigs in the past, a toupee, whatever. I'm not going to comment on that. If he has had a procedure done, good for him. Almost every male celebrity has had their mature or receding hairline altered surgically, so likelihood, yeah, it's high, sure, but I'm not one to speculate or theorise about what's his business. That's the end of that video. Thank you for watching. I might do the other members of One Direction, but they've not really had as much of a cultural impact with their hair in the same way that Harry Styles has. I intend to do videos like this for George Michael, David Bowie and David Beckham, because I feel like their hair evolutions are really interesting as well, but obviously they've got such lengthy careers compared to Harry Styles, which is luckily only like a decade and a half. David Bowie's is like 5 decades, so those videos will take a long fucking time. Yeah, whatever. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support on the last video. I'm really enjoying making these longer format videos. So yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.